For years, rumours questioned Prince Harry's true paternity, tying him to Diana's alleged lover James Hewitt. When Harry took a DNA test to uncover the truth, the results sent shockwaves through the royal family. What drove him to question everything and walk away from it all? For years, whispers have swirled around the royal family, casting doubt on one of its most well-known members, Prince Harry. Among these rumours, one has proven particularly persistent: the question of Harry's true paternity. While these speculations might seem like harmless gossip to some, for Harry, they have been a heavy burden, shaping much of his relationship with the media and even his own family. The origins of these rumours can be traced back decades to Princess Diana's tumultuous marriage with then Prince Charles. It's no secret that their union was fraught with tension and infidelity, much of it splashed across tabloids at the time. The spotlight was relentless, and Diana's every move was scrutinised. Amid this media frenzy, rumours emerged suggesting that Harry was not Charles's biological son, but the result of an alleged affair between Diana and James Hewitt, a former cavalry officer. Fueling these suspicions was the apparent physical resemblance between Harry and Hewitt. Both shared similar features like red hair, which was enough for tabloids to run wild with the story. They ignored the fact that Diana's family, the Spencers, also have red hair, which is likely where Harry inherited the trait. But tabloids thrive on sensationalism, not accuracy. Stories were spun, photos were compared, and headlines boldly questioned Harry's place in the royal lineage. It didn't matter that Diana's relationship with Hewitt reportedly began after Harry was born. The narrative had already been set, and the world was eager to consume it. For Harry, these rumours weren't just background noise. Growing up under constant public scrutiny, he was acutely aware of the whispers. Imagine being a child and seeing your face plastered on magazine covers, accompanied by questions about your parentage. It wasn't just the media stirring the pot, it was the whispers at every corner, the endless comparisons to his brother William, and the snide remarks that implied he didn't truly belong. These rumours didn't only affect him, they were an insult to his late mother, Princess Diana, whose integrity and love for her sons were called into question. The emotional toll on Harry was profound. He often felt isolated, as if he were battling these insinuations alone. While William bore the weight of being the future king, Harry had to contend with being labelled the spare, a term already loaded with implications of being less important. Add the constant questioning of his parentage, and it's easy to understand why Harry often felt like an outsider within his own family. For him, these rumours weren't just about whether or not Charles was his father. They represented a deeper struggle with his identity and his place in a family that seemed more concerned with appearances than with truth or empathy. Tabloid culture played a significant role in keeping these rumours alive. Publications thrived on royal scandals, and the question of Harry's paternity was the perfect mix of drama and intrigue to sell copies. Stories about secret DNA tests, alleged confessions, and inside sources became a staple of gossip columns. Even as years passed and Harry grew older, the rumours refused to fade. Social media only amplified the noise, giving new life to old claims and making them harder to escape. What made it worse was the royal family's silence. The institution's refusal to address the rumours directly only fueled speculation, making it seem as though there might be some truth to the whispers. For Harry, the lack of support from his family was deeply hurtful. He saw it as yet another example of the monarchy prioritising its image over the well-being of its members. The palace's unwillingness to shut down the rumours publicly felt like a betrayal, not just to him, but to Diana as well. It was as if the institution was willing to let her legacy be tarnished to avoid any potential fallout. This silence left Harry to shoulder the burden of these accusations on his own, adding to his growing frustration with the royal system. The persistence of these rumours isn't just a reflection of the media's obsession with royal drama. It also highlights the deep public fascination with the idea of the outsider within the monarchy. People were captivated by the notion that Harry, the rebellious prince, might not truly belong. It's a narrative that taps into a broader cultural fascination with lineage, legitimacy, and scandal. But for Harry, it was far more personal. These whispers weren't just headlines. They were a constant reminder that his life wasn't entirely his own, that every aspect of his identity was up for public debate. This controversy didn't just linger in the background, it shaped much of Harry's worldview. It taught him early on about the dangers of unchecked media power and the impact of public perception. It also fueled his determination to protect his own family from the same scrutiny and speculation that had haunted him for decades. When rumours about Prince Harry's paternity began to surface, the royal family's response, or lack of it, spoke volumes. For decades, these whispers circulated relentlessly, yet the monarchy chose to remain silent. To outsiders, this may have seemed like a strategy to avoid drawing attention to the scandal, but to Harry, the silence felt like a betrayal. It wasn't just the lack of public statements defending him or his mother. It was the pattern of prioritising the institution's reputation above all else that cut the deepest. The royal family has long operated on the principle of never complain, never explain. This unofficial mantra reflects their belief that addressing controversies only fuels them further. By remaining silent, they hope to project an image of unshakable stability and avoid giving the media more material to dissect. But while this approach may work in some situations, it often leaves individuals within the family feeling unsupported. For Harry, the decision to stay silent on the rumours questioning his parentage wasn't just hurtful, it was emblematic of a deeper issue within the monarchy. The rumours about Harry's parentage weren't just personal, they also implicated Princess Diana, his beloved mother. By refusing to address these claims, the royal family effectively allowed Diana's character to be dragged through the mud. The insinuation that she had been unfaithful, resulting in a child outside of her marriage, was not only cruel, but also deeply disrespectful to her memory. For Harry, this silence wasn't neutral. It felt like complicity, as if the family's unwillingness to speak up somehow validated the speculation. To him, it was another example of the institution failing to protect those within it. This wasn't the first time Harry saw his family's indifference in action. Diana herself had often spoken about feeling unsupported by the royal household. During her marriage to Charles, she was expected to endure difficulties quietly, without complaint or acknowledgement. Her struggles with mental health, her loneliness, and even the very public unravelling of her marriage were largely ignored by the institution. The monarchy's focus was always on maintaining the image of the royal family, even if it came at the expense of its members' well-being. For Harry, these parallels were impossible to ignore. Watching the royal family remain silent in the face of rumours about his paternity reminded him of how they had failed to stand by his mother. It was as if history was repeating itself, with the institution once again choosing its public image over the emotional needs of its members. This realisation only deepened Harry's frustration with the monarchy and its unwillingness to evolve. What made matters worse was how the media capitalised on the royal family's silence. By refusing to address the rumours, the palace left a vacuum that tabloids were more than happy to fill. Stories speculating on Harry's parentage became a staple of royal gossip, with headlines comparing his features to those of James Hewitt or questioning timelines. Every time the palace chose not to respond, the media grew bolder, feeding off the lack of denial as if it were an admission of guilt. For Harry, this silence didn't just fail to protect him, it actively emboldened those who sought to exploit his personal life for profit. This experience shaped much of Harry's view of the monarchy and its relationship with the media. He began to see the institution as complicit in the very system that had caused his mother so much pain. Diana had spoken openly about the destructive role of the press in her life, and Harry saw the same patterns playing out in his own. The monarchy's refusal to address sensitive issues, combined with its reliance on the media to maintain public favour, created a toxic cycle that left individuals vulnerable while protecting the institution as a whole. For Harry, the royal family's silence wasn't just a strategic decision, it was a moral failing. By refusing to defend him or Diana, they sent a clear message about where their priorities lay. The monarchy seemed more concerned with avoiding scandal than with standing up for the truth or supporting its members. This realisation was a turning point for Harry. It fueled his growing desire to step away from the institution and build a life where his family's well-being came first. The silence surrounding the rumours also forced Harry to confront some painful truths about his place within the royal family. He began to question whether he truly belonged in an institution that seemed so indifferent to his struggles. The lack of public support felt like an extension of the emotional distance he had often felt growing up, a reminder that the monarchy's needs would always outweigh his own. Prince Harry has always shared a unique bond with his mother, Princess Diana. To him, she wasn't just a royal figure or the people's princess. As the world knew her, she was a compassionate, fiercely loving mother who always put her children first. Her warmth, strength, and humanity were qualities that defined her legacy. This is why the persistent rumours about Harry's paternity weren't just an attack on him. They felt like a direct assault on Diana's integrity and the values she held dear. From the very beginning, Diana's life in the royal family was anything but easy. Her marriage to Prince Charles, often described as troubled and distant, was conducted under the unblinking eye of the media. Every flaw, every mistake, and every personal struggle became fodder for tabloid headlines. Diana was scrutinised and dissected in ways no human being should ever endure. Yet, through it all, she remained devoted to her two sons, William and Harry. She was determined to protect them from the worst aspects of royal life and give them a sense of normalcy, even as her world was falling apart. For Harry, Diana wasn't just his mother, she was his source of comfort and inspiration. She taught him to value kindness, compassion, and authenticity, qualities she exemplified in her life and humanitarian work. The idea that her character could be called into question by baseless rumours about an affair and Harry's parentage was unbearable to him. He saw these stories not just as an insult to his mother's memory, but as a continuation of the exploitation and disrespect she faced during her lifetime. The tabloids had hounded her relentlessly, and now, years after her death, they were still finding ways to demean her. What made it worse for Harry was the royal family's unwillingness to address these rumours. To him, their silence wasn't neutral. It felt like a failure to defend Diana's honour. He believed that by refusing to speak out, the monarchy was allowing these damaging narratives to persist, further tarnishing her legacy. This wasn't just about tabloid gossip, it was about protecting the image of the woman who had given everything for her family and her causes. For Harry, it was a deeply personal mission to ensure that Diana's memory remained untarnished by lies and speculation. Diana's struggles with the royal family also influenced Harry's determination to stand up for her. She often spoke about feeling isolated and unsupported within the institution. Whether it was her struggles with mental health, her efforts to navigate the pressures of royal life, or her highly publicised divorce from Charles, Diana frequently found herself alone in her battles. Harry couldn't help but draw parallels between her experiences and his own. Just as the family had failed to support Diana during her most difficult moments, they were now failing to protect her legacy by remaining silent on the rumours about his paternity. This sense of history repeating itself fueled Harry's resolve to take a stand. He wasn't just fighting for himself, he was fighting for his mother and everything she stood for. He wanted the world to remember Diana as the strong, caring and principled woman she was, not as a figure tarnished by baseless accusations. To Harry, clearing the air about his parentage was more than a personal matter. It was a way to honour Diana's memory and ensure that her legacy was preserved for future generations. Over time, Diana's influence became a guiding force in Harry's life. Her compassion and dedication to helping others shaped his approach to the world. He saw how she used her platform to shed light on important causes and bring comfort to those in need, often at great personal cost. Her example taught him the importance of standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult or unpopular. It's no surprise then that Harry felt compelled to confront the rumours about his paternity head-on. For him, it was about truth, justice, and preserving the values his mother had instilled in him. Harry's decision to undergo a DNA test was a deeply personal and courageous step. He knew it wouldn't erase the years of speculation or undo the damage done by the rumours, but it was a way to take control of the narrative and put an end to the questions that had haunted him for so long. More importantly, It was a way to protect Diana's reputation. By proving that the rumours were unfounded, Harry could silence those who sought to tarnish her character and ensure that her story remained one of strength, resilience, and love. This mission to protect Diana's legacy has shaped much of Harry's journey, from his decision to step back from royal duties to his work advocating for mental health and social justice. In many ways, he sees himself as continuing the work she started, using his platform to make a positive impact and challenge the systems that failed her. Through his actions, Harry is not only honouring his mother's memory, but also forging a path that reflects the values she holds so dear. Prince Harry's decision to undergo a DNA test wasn't just a moment of personal reckoning, it was one of the boldest and most emotionally charged choices he had ever made. For years, rumours surrounding his paternity had swirled, fueled by relentless media speculation and whispers that James Hewitt, not King Charles III, was his biological father. These stories weren't just invasive, they were deeply hurtful, casting a shadow over Harry's life and his late mother, Princess Diana's legacy. After enduring years of speculation and silence from his family, Harry realised that taking the test was the only way to find the closure he so desperately needed. This decision didn't come lightly. For Harry, the journey leading up to it was one of emotional turmoil and internal conflict. The idea of confirming or disproving these rumours weighed heavily on him. He knew the risks involved. What if the results didn't align with what he had believed his whole life? What if the man he called father turned out not to be? The implications would be monumental, not only for him, but for the monarchy itself. These weren't questions he could ignore anymore, though. The whispers had followed him for too long, and the weight of those doubts was becoming unbearable. Adding to this emotional burden was the royal family's lack of support. Harry had grown increasingly frustrated with their refusal to address the rumours publicly or privately. For him, their silence wasn't just about maintaining the family's reputation. It felt like an abandonment of him and his mother's memory. The institution seemed more focused on avoiding controversy than protecting its members from the relentless speculation. This inaction left Harry feeling isolated, with no one to lean on except his wife, Meghan Markle. Meghan became Harry's rock during this difficult time. While others in his life seemed more concerned about the potential fallout from a DNA test, Meghan focused on Harry's well-being. She encouraged him to prioritise his mental health and to make choices that would bring him peace, regardless of how controversial they might seem. Meghan understood the toll the rumours had taken on Harry, both as an individual and as a member of the royal family. She urged him to take control of his narrative, reminding him that the truth, whatever it turned out to be, was the only way to silence the doubts and move forward with clarity. For Harry, this unwavering support was life-changing. Meghan's encouragement gave him the courage to face his fears and the strength to stand by his decision, even in the face of opposition from his family. The royal household was far from supportive of his choice to undergo a DNA test. King Charles III and Prince William were reportedly alarmed by the potential repercussions. They worried that such a test, if leaked to the press, would reignite media scrutiny and damage the monarchy's already fragile image. Charles, in particular, was said to feel hurt by Harry's decision, interpreting it as a lack of trust in their relationship as father and son. The tension within the royal family was palpable. Harry's choice to take the test was seen as a break from tradition, a refusal to adhere to the unwritten rules that had governed the monarchy for generations. For Harry, though, this was never about defying the family or tarnishing its reputation. It was about finding answers for himself and his family. He needed to know the truth, not just to silence the rumours, but to reclaim a sense of certainty in his life. This wasn't just a question of paternity, it was a question of identity. The rumours had chipped away at Harry's confidence and sense of self for years. Every time a tabloid splashed his face next to James Hewitt's or speculated about timelines, it reminded him of the doubts that had been cast over his life. Taking the DNA test was his way of confronting those doubts head-on, of taking ownership of a narrative that had been hijacked by the media for far too long. Harry's decision also had a broader purpose. He wasn't just seeking closure for himself, he was also standing up for his mother's memory. To him, These rumours were an insult to Diana's integrity, a cruel continuation of the media's exploitation of her life. By taking the test, Harry hoped to put an end to the speculation once and for all, not just for his own sake, but to protect his mother's legacy from further harm. The days leading up to the test were filled with anxiety. Harry wrestled with what the results might reveal and how they could change his life. Yet, amidst the uncertainty, he found comfort in Meghan's unwavering presence. She reminded him that whatever the outcome, they had built their own family, a family rooted in love, respect and truth. This gave Harry the strength to move forward, knowing that no matter what, he wouldn't have to face the results alone. The results of Prince Harry's DNA test finally arrived, and they put an end to the years of speculation that had haunted him. The test confirmed what many had always believed, but others had questioned. Harry is indeed the biological son of King Charles III. For Harry, this moment was a mix of relief and reflection. After years of enduring whispers and accusations, he finally had the truth, and it brought with it a sense of closure he had been searching for. The relief Harry felt wasn't just about himself. The results validated his connection to the royal family and silenced the rumours that had cast doubt on his identity for decades. More importantly, the confirmation vindicated his late mother, Princess Diana. These rumours weren't just an attack on Harry, they were an attack on her integrity. By proving that the gossip had no basis in reality, Harry felt he was protecting Diana's memory and reclaiming her legacy. She had been a devoted mother who loved her sons fiercely, and the results reaffirmed the bond they shared. While the confirmation brought closure, it also carried a bittersweet edge. For years, Harry had been forced to live under the weight of these rumours, and the silence of his family throughout it all was something he couldn't forget. The royal family's unwillingness to address the speculation publicly had left him feeling isolated and unsupported. Even now, knowing the truth, Harry couldn't ignore the lingering resentment he felt toward the institution that had allowed these rumours to persist. The results might have erased the doubts, but they didn't erase the emotional scars left by years of neglect. This moment of truth further strengthened Harry's resolve to distance himself from the monarchy. He had long felt that the institution valued its public image above the well-being of its members, and this experience only confirmed that belief. By choosing to remain silent about the rumours, the royal family had left him to deal with the fallout on his own. For Harry, this was more than just a personal betrayal. It was a symbol of the deeper flaws within the institution. It reinforced his decision to step back from royal duties and prioritise his own family's happiness and mental health. Harry also recognised that the DNA results had implications far beyond his own life. They were a reflection of the struggles Diana had faced during her time in the royal family. She had often spoken about feeling unsupported and misunderstood, and the way the rumours about Harry were handled felt like an extension of that same pattern. Diana had spent much of her life protecting her sons from the harsh realities of royal life, and Harry saw it as his responsibility to continue that mission. By putting the rumours to rest, he felt he was honouring her efforts and ensuring that her legacy remained untarnished. The media, of course, had played a major role in perpetuating the rumours. For years, tabloid headlines had speculated about Harry's parentage, comparing his appearance to that of James Hewitt and publishing timelines that cast doubt on his origins. The DNA test results were a definitive answer to these speculations, but they also highlighted the damage that unchecked media narratives can do. Harry's experience was a stark reminder of how invasive and harmful the press could be, and it fueled his commitment to advocating for better boundaries between the media and public figures. Prince Harry's decision to step away from royal duties wasn't an overnight impulse. It was a culmination of years of personal struggles, institutional pressures, and a growing desire for freedom. The DNA controversy surrounding his paternity was one of the many catalysts that brought deeper flaws within the royal family to light. For Harry, it was more than just the rumours themselves. It was about how the family handled them, or rather, how they didn't. Their silence, their focus on maintaining the institution's image, and their indifference to the emotional toll it took on him all pointed to a larger issue. The monarchy, he realised, was built on traditions and protocols that often left individuals like him feeling trapped. The DNA rumours weren't just a personal attack, they highlighted how little the monarchy was willing to do to protect its own. Instead of addressing the controversy, the royal family's response was to let it simmer in the background, hoping it would fade. This lack of action wasn't new to Harry. He had seen similar patterns in the way his mother, Princess Diana, was treated. Her struggles with the royal institution, her feelings of isolation, and her eventual break from royal life all echoed in Harry's own experiences. The DNA controversy wasn't just about proving who his father was. It became a symbol of everything wrong with the institution and its unwillingness to evolve. Harry's decision to leave the royal spotlight was ultimately about survival, both emotional and mental. Growing up under the relentless scrutiny of the media and the constant pressures of being a royal left him longing for a life that felt authentic. His relationship with Meghan Markle only strengthened that resolve. Meghan, who had faced her share of challenges as a royal, brought a fresh perspective to Harry's world. Together they realised that their happiness and well-being, as well as that of their children, couldn't thrive within the confines of the monarchy. The constant expectations, the rigid traditions, and the lack of support had become too much to bear. Moving to California was a bold and transformative step. For Harry, it represented more than just a change of scenery. It was a chance to reclaim his life. California offered freedom from the royal protocols that dictated every aspect of his existence. He could wake up each day without worrying about public appearances, press obligations, or adhering to centuries-old traditions. For the first time, he could focus on being a husband, a father, and an individual rather than a public figure defined by his title. Life in California brought with it a sense of peace and purpose. Harry and Meghan began building a life centered around love, authenticity, and family values. Their home became a haven where their children, Archie and Lilibet, could grow up surrounded by love rather than the pressures of royal expectations. Harry found joy in the simplicity of everyday moments, playing with his kids, spending time outdoors, and focusing on his passions. These were things he couldn't fully embrace as a working royal, where every move was scrutinised and every decision politicised. In their new life, Harry and Meghan also found ways to channel their experiences into meaningful work. Through their foundation, Archewell, they focused on causes close to their hearts, from mental health advocacy to social justice initiatives. For Harry, this work isn't just about making a difference, it's about reclaiming his voice. In the royal family, he often felt silenced, his opinions secondary to the institution's goals. In California, he's been able to speak openly about his struggles, share his story, and advocate for change on his terms. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.